It's important that no matter how old you are, every passenger is safe.
Meet Captain Veronica Ruffin, Richmond Ambulance Authority's passenger safety technician, and also
I am a new grandma, so we're back into the car seat era with the grandchildren.
with dozens of car seat options available. Captain Ruffin explained sometimes a higher price tag doesn't always mean a safer seat.
I say it's always nice to get what's like all fancy on the shelves, but if your pocket can only just purchase something on the lower end, your kid is still protected because we have standards on what a seat has to have to even be on a shelf to be purchased.
Those standards are important and something she says you should consider if you're purchasing a car seat online.
Be cautious of online purchasing. Here in the States, we take a certain standard towards car seats, and so we have a certain material. We have certain bells and whistles as far as like harnesses and types of seats.
Next, Captain Ruffin walked us through installation tips for what she considers a more basic convertible seat.
It is rear facing as well as turning it around as your child grows for it to be forward facing.
The first step Captain Ruffin wants you to take is to clear out your back seat, including the floorboard.
I know that we all tend to live in our vehicles, I do too, but for the safety of an infant or a toddler in the back, especially when toddlers are still growing and they like to pick and pull at everything.
Next, you're going to ensure the seat is in the correct position and that the passenger seat is at least 1 inch away from the car seat.
But some of the seats come with a bubble on the side, like a little visual of where you should be with the seat.
Okay.
So you're gonna put your seat in.
Then comes securing the seat using your seat belt.
And we're going to feed it through the bottom of where the child's legs would actually be.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're just gonna connect it to the seat. You're gonna pull on this seat. And as you put some weight on the seat, you're pulling back on the seat belt and you're feeding it back into.
So you want it tight?
Yes, you want it tight, and this is a perfect fit. So the seat right here should be tight. This is a tight fit.
After your seat is snug, you'll fasten your child in using the 5-point harness.
You want to make sure that this harness meets them at their shoulders and that it's a snug fit, and that when you do put them in, you use every piece of the 5-point harness. And once it's in and clipped, you don't want to be pinching no more than just a little bit. If you're pinching more than this much material, then it's not snug enough.
Over time, Ruffin says you should check your seat to make sure it hasn't moved or shifted. But this basic convertible car seat is the standard and should be rear-facing for children until they're 2 years old. And Richmond Ambulance Authority wants you to know if you followed these steps, your child will be protected.
I have seen cars at its worst, and I've seen intrusions to the front and the rear, and babies are probably the safest in the car because they have the toughest seat.